hope.
Sails of hope. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Now for Tanya.
Tanya.
So we are finishing the whole first book of Tanya today. That's pretty nifty.
Yeah.
I think. Oh no, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow we're going to finish it.
We finished it.
Today we're almost finishing it, and I think we because it's very short Chumash, I think we can take the luxury of going back to yesterday's because we didn't do that. We don't do Sundays. Maybe in the summer we could do Sundays. Let's do from yesterday so we can follow the theme.
Yitzi, but this week there's no Naso. It's not this week.
We still do Nasa.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Page 82, chapter 53. The Alter Rebbe explained the previous chapter, the light of the Shekhinah, which is an illumination that transcends the world, must have a garment with which to radiate in the world.
Mm-hmm.
The garment of the Torah, the garment of the Shekhinah is Torah.
Amen.
Okay. Then we said another point. Every world, let's say the four main, world categories, Atzilut, Bria, Tziyasya, there is found the intelligence of that particular world, namely the Sfirot of Chachma Bina Data, that world. So because the highest, just like in man, the highest faculties is the intelligence. So too in the cosmic world, in the cosmic, makeup of the world, the intelligence of that world is the highest part of the world. So each world is really defined by its level of intelligence. And the intelligence. So that's another way of saying, for nice code word, Kodesh HaKadoshim, Holy of Holies, where the Shekhinah resides.
Wow.
Right? The Shekhinah, we saying, just to get very clear, because it's a lot of Kabbalah-ese. We got a Kabbalah-ese, like,
What's that?
it's a way of making, like, a joke of, like, hard, like Chinese, Kabbalah-ese, like, it's hard to understand, yeah?
Okay.
The terms are like Chinese sometimes,
Okay.
right? So let's make sense of the Kabbalah-ese. The Kabbalah-ese of Shekhinah, which is a very generic word, many in the Torah, presence of God. It is what it means, according to in technical jargon in Kabbalah, it means I forgot even. It's the transcendent light that relates to the world. I think that's what he said. I forget, day to day, what we learned. Just to confirm, because we're summarizing a lot here. So before we gave the metaphor of the brain, that the light that goes into the brain is this like undifferentiated general power of all the powers of the body. And from there in the brain, it rests in the brain, from where it gets diffused to the specific limbs. So I think the Shekhinah is a light that is not differentiated. It's very lofty. It's very, I guess the best word is transcendent. It's not a bunch of parts.
I was going to say, didn't you say it's a whole?
It's a whole. Very good. It's a whole. It's like the parts are somehow found in that general energy, but it's not. It's above it. It's much more. Everything can exist in once.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the principle of addition. Maybe you can go through every number possible and make 1 + 1, 1 + 2, 3 + 3, but it's really all. They're all subsumed in the principle of addition.
Mm-hmm.
So they're there, but they're not specific.
Mm-hmm.
That general whole of the light where God relates, it's called Malchut, is called Malchut. Why Malchut? Malchut is all the energy as it relates to leadership. So it's all of, let's say, God, the cosmos, God's infinite, let's say, power, but the way it wants to lead, like Malchut, it wants to create. So it's still infinite, but at least the way it's projecting itself as it wants to lead. So it has to make room to has to start getting to creation, but it's still above creation.
Mm-hmm.
And the place where the general light of the soul or it rests is in the brain. So too in the intelligence. So Shechina, just to confirm, is the infinite light that wants to have a relationship. It wants to lead, but it's still infinite. So it's not, there's no room for other in a sense yet. What's the next step? It has to rest in the creation, in the receiver's brain, in the next world's brain. So you have each world, let's say, is a creator to the next world, because it's like a evolution of energies. So the higher world is a creator. It's transcendent power. Then it rests in the next world. It's the creation that's trying to animate in the intelligence of that lower level.
Mm-hmm.
Is that making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I just said last time too.
I said the last time. This is just a summary because it's all.
I'm just letting you know you said the same thing.
Okay. So another term of the intelligence of the receiver of the creation of the thing being animated. What's the highest point, the highest apex of that, of the creation of the lower receiver world? It's intelligence. It's Chabad. Another term for that is called the Holy of Holies. The Holy of Holies of any system is its intelligence, because that's the portal to receive the energy from the higher level. Mm-hmm. Just like the brain can receive ideas way beyond what you know, because it's the portal for entering the energy or the idea into your system. Okay. Now, this is yesterday's Tanya. At the time the first temple stood, in which the ark and the tablets were housed in the Holy of Holies, the Shechina, which is Malchut of Atzilut, that is the revealed light of the Ein Sof. Again, Kabbalahese, you have to know the jargon, that the Shechina, the leadership quality of Atzilut, of the higher, of the Sfirot, of the infinite energies, which is called the revealed light, because again, it's transcendent, yet it wants to relate. It wants to lead. Malchut, kingship. It dwelled there. It dwelled in the Holy of Holies in the first temple. And it was actually clothed in the 10 Commandments. So this is a whole new understanding of what the 10 Commandments were. It wasn't just the first top 10 list of the Torah etched in stone, which is very nice. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's huge.
I mean, they made a movie about finding that, right? So, but it's much more than that. They are the work of God, meaning it's God. God put all the Torah, all his wisdom, relationship, his essence, as you say, into the tablets. It's not just like he just made another thing. He made a squirrel. He made a tablets. Wow. No, God invested himself in the tablets somehow.
Wow.
That's why the first word of the tablets is Anochi.
Anochi.
Anochi is a very unusual. It is a word for I am, but it's not the best. It's not seemingly the typical word. Typical word is Ani. So why Anochi? So he says, because Anochi is a hint to the acronym of those 4 letters, stand for Ana, Nafshi, Ksavis, Yehavis. I put my soul, my essence into this.
Wow.
God's saying, I'm putting my essence into this.
Wow.
This is the portal of God's infinity into the world.
Wow.
far more intensely with a greater and mightier revelation than its revelation, the shrines of the Holy of Holies above in the upper worlds. So the Rabbi points out, basically, the higher world of Yetzirah, which is a world of the lower angels, is actually has a lower manifestation of God than our physical world had in the tablets. Because the tablets actually were basically of a different world. They didn't really belong here. It's like Twilight Zone, right? Twilight. We said in Mishnah, we say in Pirkei Avos that there was 10 things created by the twilight.
Right. Erev
Shabbos, because these are things that are like, those are even lesser things. You know, they're not like totally physical. They're like somewhat physical. They're miraculous. They're not natural. Like the talking donkey, the opening of the mouth of the pit for Korach. These are miraculous phenomena. How much more so the tablets, which were beyond miraculous. They were miraculous because when you held the tablets, one of the miracles that happened with them was they were engraved through and through. So let's say the Anochi goes all the way through. Now, when you read an engravement from one side, you read it right, and the other way you read it reverse. But the miracle was you would actually see it
through and through.
You'd read it the same way,
either way,
both ways. It's like our iPads. Like when you flip it, it flips with it. The tablets, every way you go, it would look the other way, like you're reading it the right way. Another thing was that the letters mem, final mem, and samach, which are circular, there's no way to suspend the middle. Right, the middle it just becomes a hole.
Right,
but the middle was suspended.
Wow!
And miraculously stayed in place, even though it was carved around. These are just two examples of the famous midrash of the tablets. They were not really of this world. They were of the world of Bria.
Okay.
Of the manifestation of God within the world of Bria. For the 10 Commandments are the all-embracing principles of the whole Torah. We know the 10 Commandments, another thing is they're the whole Torah, which, by the way, there's a famous Gaon, in the Babylonian Gaon, Rabbi Sadia Gaon, he shows how the 613 are all found in the 10. I mean, even though you can think they're not. I mean, they're 10 maybe of they're general rules of some, but not everything is found in the 10 Commandments. In the 10 Commandments, all 613. So there's a rabbi in the 10th century who did that, which derives to the level of supernal chachma of atzilut, which is higher in the world of manifestation. So, as we said earlier, Torah is above the world. It's above the light of the world, even. It's hard. I'm sorry. The Torah is above the Shekhinah. But the Torah also becomes a cloak. It conceals itself to enable the Shekhinah to be created, for us to receive the Shekhinah. So again, the tablets become this emblem of God's relating to the world, of a portal of God to the world.
He also created the second tablets. Moshe just made the
get
stones.
To that. We'll get to that. Actually, we won't get to that. You're right. Yes, true. In order to engrave them on material tablets of stone, this level of where Torah emanates from, the supernal chachma, did not descend degree by degree parallel to the order of descent of the worlds until it reached this material world. Generally, the flow of divine light has to go from basically get cloaked in every world until it comes down here. The tablets sort of skipped. For this material world functions the garb of material nature. Well, the tablets, we said, the work of God. Everything's the work of God, right? Mm-hmm. Regular stones are the work of God. Mm-hmm. Why is the tablets the work of God? And they said they came down in a divine way. They didn't have the same masking of a regular piece of stone. Mm-hmm. You could see God within them. You could see how they are a projection of a higher realm.
Wow.
And the writing is the writing of God, beyond the nature of this physical material world, which is derived from the radiation, because the physical world, natural world, comes the radiation of the Shekhinah in the shrine of the Holy of the lowest world, from which...
How is it possible for the Philistines to capture those tablets? That blows my
Good
mind.
question. I don't know. It's a good question.
Hashem let it.
Why does things that are inexplicable happen? It's a good
Yeah.
question.
Hashem let it.
From which light and vitality issue the world of Asiya, in which this physical world is also included. But the level of supernal chachma of Atzilut, consisting of the totality of the Torah as it's encapsulated in the Ten Commandments, clothes itself in Malchut of Atzilut and Bria alone. And they alone, united as they are with the infinite light of the Ein Sof that's within them, are referred to as the Shechina, which is rested. Interesting. We want technical. We want to get technical Jeopardy question answers. Malchut of Bria and the world of Atzilut together equal the Shechina.
Say it again, please.
The cosmos of Atzilut, as they culminate in Malchut, and the cosmos of Bria, as they culminate in Malchut of that world, that's the technical definition of Shechina.
Mm-hmm.
And they are what rested in the Holy of Holies in the first temple through the portal of being in the Ten Commandments that were engraved by miraculous means in as you said, they were engraved through and through, and you could see it would read any way it was supposed to read, and the letters Mem and Samach were suspended. Anyways, moreover, the work of the living God, Elokim Chayim, they're the work of the living God, meaning it's called the concealed world, which nests itself in the world of Bria, as known to the students of Kabbalah. So we don't know Kabbalah that well, but essentially it's a revelation of a very high realm, a high level Shechina. Now that's yesterday's. Now we're segueing into today. As for the second temple, which the ark and the tablets did not repose, right? The second temple did not have the ark and the luchot. Agreed, Alan? All right, first time you're hearing this.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
The ark and
The
the
rabbis
luchot,
of blessed memory said the Shechina did not dwell there. What does that mean? What are they doing sacrifices in a place where the Shechina is not there? It doesn't make sense. So this is a big novel. To me, this is novel. And it's a novel thing to anybody that learns this statement in the Talmud.
It takes a lot of chutzpah, but Ezra and Nehemiah we're up to it.
But the question I'm saying is, after they worked so hard and they made a beautiful temple, the rabbis say the Shechina did not dwell there. That doesn't seem right. So listen, what it means.
I agree. It doesn't seem right.
So
But
listen,
God wanted it to continue, obviously.
but listen, there's better news than that. This means that the God forbid, don't say the Shechina didn't abide there at all. That's not what it means. The Alter is saying it means it did not dwell in the same intensity that it dwelled in the first temple.
Makes sense.
Which we said earlier, what was with our little bit of intro course to Kabbalah is that there was a level of the higher realms of Atzilut and Bria invested, skipping the nature of order and being invested in the tablets of the first in the tablets in the first temple. But in the second temple, that was literally a jump. It was like literally a creature from another realm coming into, a voice from another realm being invested in a tablet. But in the second temple, the divinity did go through the system more. It abided according to the order of gradual descent, right? Everything comes in the four worlds. We call it like a chain. Everything is like chain-like development until you create this version of the original, which is much more concealed. So in the second temple, the Shechina came in the order of gradual descent of Malchut of Atzilut, being vested in Malchut of Bria, and the ladder in the Malchut of Yetzirah, the third world. Finally, in the ladder and shrine of the shrine of the Holy of Holies. That shrine being the Chabad of Asiya. So, by the way, and the Holy of Holies of Asiya. So the Holy of Holies, again, it's kind of confusing because Chassidus, it talks about Torah and history of Torah, and then it says, but this is all paralleling levels in Kabbalah. So you have to keep like two systems at once.
Mhm.
So there's the Holy of Holies, the room, the 10 by 10 room, or 10 by 10.
10 by 10.
10 by 10.
I believe.
And then there's the Holy of Holies, the conceptual Holy of Holies, which means the portal of God, the portal for God into the world. It's like a conception. It's a spiritual Holy of Holies. So the Holy of Holies of Asiya, the portal of entry to this physical world, that was clothed directly in the Holy of Holies, the physical stone one, in the temple below. In it rested the Shechina, the Malchut of Yitzira, which is clothed in the Holy of Holies of Asiya. Therefore, because the Shechina, so at the end of this whole formula, you end up with even the second temple, there was a higher closest to God in the Holy of Holies, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It says that Kohen Gadol's would go in, they would die if they weren't worthy in the second temple. And it was very corrupt, the second temple. People were buying off the rights to the priesthood,
Well, here's
to
a
the
little
high
fact
priest.
about this. The first one, 8 can go for me. The first,
You had to tie a rope around his foot so that you could drag him out.
first Golden Gadol,
Yeah.
there are 8.
Yeah.
The second temple, there's 300.
Wow.
308.
There's 308 Kohen Gadol's in the second temple.
No, 300 in the second, 8
Uh-oh.
in the first.
Yeah, that's
Where do you find that, Pesach,
you have to
David?
get in touch with Pesach David's agent for that type of
All right, that's
that
specialized
insider
intelligence.
info doesn't come cheap.
All right, how much?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so we're talking about the sum of it all is that in the Holy of Holies of the second temple there was a higher level of divinity. It wasn't nearly as high. And what is that? It's basically Malchut of Yetzira of World 3 being invested there. Yeah. Okay. Which means it was the best place on earth. It was the Chabad. It was the intelligence, the spiritual intelligence of earth was found in the Holy of Holies. Okay. Everything else in the world goes through another layer called Malchut of Asiya, of further, concealment manifestation. So that's why a regular place of the world doesn't have that level of. It's not the high point of earth, of the intelligent point of earth. Therefore, no man was permitted to enter there except the high priest of Yom Kippur. It's still holier than regular place on earth. And since the destruction, okay, this is giving you a little bit of insight to what made things holy in the temple, in the Holy of Holies. But once the temple is destroyed, right? So where's God found? Where's the apex? Where's the Chabad, the of earth? Right? Where's the portal of entry to earth? Where's the brain of earth? The spiritual brain. It says we say in the Gemara in Brachos, Hakadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy and Blessed be He, has only the 4 cubits of halacha alone. Today, post temple, the only place God is found, again, what's mean God? The Shechina, the transcendent energy of everything that came before, packaged in a way to be generally found in the apex of earth, in the intelligence, the spiritual intelligence of earth. Where is that to be found? In halacha. Because what is halacha? It is the wisdom of God.
Mm-hmm.
So another way of saying that is it's the apex of the design of earth. It makes sense. Apex being the high point, right?
Wow.
Again, why is God found halacha? Because what is halacha? It's the wisdom of God. That's another way of saying it's the highest point of the spiritual intelligence of earth. Of reality, not just earth. And even Pluto also, and even if one Jew sits and engages in Torah study, they say the Shekhinah is with him, as stated in the first chapter of Brachot. What do you mean the Shekhinah is with him? It means that although the person is a physical being, the Shekhinah is with him.
Wow.
And what's the level of Shekhinah with him? It's the level of Shekhinah in order of the gradual descent and investment of Malchut of Atzilut, and Malchut of Bria, and Yetzirah and Asiya. So we come out that we're actually, the halacha we have is not the same intensity of the Holy of Holies in the second temple. It has to go there. Why? Because Malchut of the lowest world of Asiya means it's fully invested and integrated in the world of physical, in the physical world. Because all the mitzvahs are physical. So as the Shekhinah, even the intelligence, the high point of intelligence of earth must go through a further investment through a cloak of physicality, or of the energy of physicality. For the 613 commandments of the Torah are by and large precepts that involve action, including those mitzvot which are fulfilled by word and thought, such as Torah study, blessing after the meals, recital of the Shema and the prayer. For it's ruled that meditation is not the validity of speech, and one does not fulfill one's obligation by meditation in a manner of hirur and kavanah alone, until he gives it utterance with his lips. Moreover, it has been ruled that the motion of the lips is considered action. So we see all mitzvahs, even Torah, you have to actionalize it. You have to utter it. You have to use physical lips to say it. And the 613 of the Torah, together with the 7 commandments of our rabbis. Oh, so now the Rebbe says, preempting a question here. Why does it say halacha is where the Torah is found? Is the Shekhinah is found? Why is the Shekhinah found in the halacha? Why not in the abstract ideas, the non-action oriented, just the midrash? Why not midrash? Why we say specifically halacha out of all the areas of Torah is where the Shekhinah is found? So he says that's because another point, because the 613 commandments with the 7 original rabbinic enactments equals 620.
Say that again. What is this? What did you do? How did you get
613 mitzvot? And there's 7 original rabbinic enactments: Megillah, Menorah, Eruv, I think. I forget the other ones.
Where did you find this information?
Which
I'm
one?
Sure, it's about the 7 rabbinic enactments.
Google it. I know it's a famous thing.
What year was it when it was?
Some in the Talmudic era. I don't know. After the Hanukkah story. I mean, had to take place through the end of the Hanukkah story at the very least.
Okay, 7 rabbinic enactments. Thank you.
I mean, there's many more rabbinic enactments, but I guess
I would think that the only things that exist would be found in the 613.
Right.
I would not think that you come up with 620 all of a sudden, and something must be over.
So yeah, I don't exactly know why, but there's 7 archetypical rabbinic enactments, and we do them. Menorah is one of them. Menorah is not a biblical. Menorah is a rabbinic. Megillah is a rabbinic. But they're considered.
All right, so we're rabbinic. All right, rabbinic is still based on Torah. The whole Hanukkah story was based on 613.
Like a higher level rabbinic. Yeah, you're right. But anyways, 613 plus 7 equals 620. 620 is gematria keter, crown, which represents in Kabbalahese, it represents the will of God. Because another aspect of Torah, besides we said earlier, it's the wisdom. It's the apex of the intelligence of reality. It's also the will of God. Now, will and wisdom is 2 separate things. So the will of God, the wisdom of God is in all parts of Torah. But the will of God, that the Torah should be utilized to transform the world, that's in the action-oriented part of Torah knowledge. So that's why halacha, which is the actionable will of God, is why it says that's the Shekhinah is. And together, the God's will / wisdom are uniting the light of the Ein Sof in a perfect union. As we said, that even the oral Torah emanates from that source. God found the earth with wisdom. This refers to oral Torah that is derived from the supernal wisdom, as written in the Torah. The father Chachma begat the daughter Malchut, oral law. Okay, that's a lot of information.
Holy information.
Holy, WHOLLY.
Scott.
If you want to know the 7, I'm looking in the Steinsaltz. If you want to know what the 7 mitzvot of the rabbis were, they were washing hands before eating bread, Eruv, reciting blessings, lighting Shabbat candles, Megillah, the festival of Hanukkah, and reciting Hallel.
They're all in the Torah, every one of them. If you look carefully, I believe that.
The reason these 7, it says here, they don't actually derive from the Torah directly. I mean, maybe indirectly, I'm not arguing.
Yeah, indirectly.
But the sages by these 7 said you have to say a blessing on them. Asher Kiddishanu. Even though they enacted it, they said God commanded us to do these things.
We are all priests, and that's from the Torah. And if we are all priests, then we need to wash our hands before we start the day. That's a chok.
Yep. 1 second. So I have a little bit of a question, is that he's pointing out that here's the main thing, where is the Shekhinah found today? So the rabbi says in halacha. Why in halacha? And halacha particularly is a very rabbinic, dependent type of study of Torah, right?
What do you mean?
Because the rabbis had to develop halacha with certain principles. They're deriving from the Torah, but it took 1,000+ years of developing halacha. So there's a certain, so it's almost like halacha is many ways synonymous with the oral law. Although you could argue that, the oral law is the way that God created the Torah to be decoded by the rabbis in order to go build a Judaism, an actionable Judaism. So, and that's God's will, to have an actionable Judaism.
Amen.
So I guess the question is, and that's why the Shekhinah is found in that area of Torah. Of all the oral Torah that leads to halacha, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because all the oral Torah leads to halacha is both the wisdom, it's the high point of intelligence in the world, and it's the will of God. So